welcome back to another video. My name is Felicia. In today's video, I really want to talk to you about the 5 daily checks that you should be doing in TaxDome. My goal here is for you as either a solo tax owner or a small tax firm owner. My goal is for you to not spend as much time in TaxDome during the busy tax season as we are in as of right now, right? And so today I really want to talk about only 5 checks that you need to do on a daily basis that you would need to do in TaxDome. Okay, so I am going to share my screen here momentarily, and I am going to walk through TaxDome and show you exactly where you should be making those checks. Okay, so here is TaxDome, right? This is essentially what your TaxDome should look like. And right now, I am in pipelines. If you aren't really sure how to get into this view, please check out one of my older videos, and I really break down the basics of how you navigate TaxDome altogether. So please make sure you check out that video. But today, you want to make sure you go to your pipelines. That's the first thing, okay? And let me even back up just a little bit. The first step you want to do is making sure that you're checking if your jobs are stuck. And the way to do that is to go to pipelines. And so here is your pipeline view, right? As you're looking here, you want to look at a few things. You should be seeing here on this card, it has 5 days, right? So you want to make sure that pretty much tells you that this card has been sitting in this stage for 5 days. So in order to determine if your jobs have been stuck, if you aren't familiar with what jobs are, job is what this card is called, okay? And this is a job of one account, one of your clients. And so how I recommend my clients to organize their pipeline is to have their jobs organized based off of time being spent in each state the longest first. So what I mean by that is the first ones you see here in each stage, they have been sitting in this stage the longest. I recommend doing that because as people start to complete their organizer in this second stage, they fall to the bottom. So your focus is only on the accounts that are sitting at the top, and you just work them through the pipeline. So again, going back to the dates on the card, pay attention. This card has been sitting in this stage for 13 days. As you can see, 5 days, 2 days, 1 day, right? That is what you should be looking at when you are glancing at your pipeline. This is the first thing that you should be doing on a daily basis. Okay, so I recommend doing that. My second thing is checking your inboxes, Inbox Plus specifically, for errors. So let me go to the Inbox Plus in this case. As you can see, Inbox Plus, it just tracks everything, all the notifications through your TaxDome. Okay, now I don't want you to look at this Inbox Plus as your to-do list. Look at it more like an alert system. So there are things in here, these notifications, some of these don't mean anything. I won't even pay attention to those, right? So for example, new account registered, just the multiple documents uploaded, I would not pay attention to that. That is just noise, okay? But the things that I would pay attention to are who completed the organizer, right? And you can filter these, right? So you can filter going to on the right hand side of the screen and just hitting filters. So things that you want to know about the organizer, let's apply it. Let's see who has basically submitted their organizer. Okay, so this is what I would be, not uploaded documents, but completed their organizer. These are the notifications that you should be paying attention to. All right, so you can put a filter in there so it could just be a cleaner view within your Inbox Plus. The second thing that you should be paying attention to is any tasks that are assigned to you. Okay, as you can see now, these are all assigned to me. I might have already completed these, right? So that's just something to keep in mind, just making sure that you've completed your task. The third and final thing you should be paying attention to is any errors, okay? Any errors that are coming through. So as you can see here, some messages was not sent. So let's figuring out why those messages were not sent. Most likely, I'm not going to get into it in this video, but most likely those messages were not sent because there was no email linked. Okay, you always want to just double check that. So that's an easy fix, just making sure that that person has an email. If they don't, that's just something that you have to call them, contact them, and get that email and get it added to their account. The third thing that you should be checking on a daily basis are unpaid invoices. And one way to check it very easily is on the pipeline. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the pipeline and always making sure that you link the invoice to the job. Okay, so most likely, at least in this case, clients have a different pay structure. And so there is, basically what I'm saying is automatic invoices are not sent during this particular pipeline. And so I have to go in and create a manual pipeline. And if you are creating manual manual invoices, make sure that you are linking it to the job. And what I mean by that is I'm going to show you two scenarios in this case. So as you can see, this individual is waiting for a payment, and here is how it's linked to an invoice. So if you're not seeing your invoices on your cards, please make sure you are doing that. And it's a very easy way to do it. You just click this link button right here and go right into invoices. Okay. And it will show you exactly how to either create the invoice or just to link it if you've already created it, okay? And the reason why I say you should link it to the job, because it's a very efficient way to keep track of all of this client's, just all of the client's tasks, all of the client's work in one location. Okay, so that's one thing. I also recommend updating the status of the card. Okay, as you already saw, let me get out of here. This view, as you can see, you just basically glancing at the job, I know exactly where this client is and we are waiting for a payment. Okay, in this case, you might be like, why is this complete when basically my client hasn't gotten paid yet? Well, the reason is it's just a special case, so you might have those scenarios where you are e-filing, you've already e-filed their return and you're just waiting for their payment. Once they get their refund, you're going to have those special cases. And in this case, that is the scenario. And so keeping track of that, we just update that status right there. Okay. Now another scenario is this client. Now they have already paid their invoices, but I just want you to see what it looks like when a client paid their invoice. Okay. And so as you can see, this is marked as paid, but it's still linked to the job. I can't stress that enough. Please make sure that you are linking everything to the job. All right. The fourth thing is signatures. Making sure you check the status of the signatures. If this is the same scenario, right? The same song and dance. And so what I mean by that is making sure, again, that document that needs a signature is linked to the job. Just like in this case, we are waiting for the client to sign this document, and it easily explains the status. So Basically, as you can see, my client has already signed. Now she's just waiting for her client to sign it. So it gives you a very easy status and knowing exactly where it is. And it takes literally 2 seconds to make to check this document. That's why it's so important to link the documents to the job, so it doesn't take you all this time to go to their account, and then it's just multiple other steps you have to do to just check the status of the document. The final check, or the final thing to do on a daily basis as a tax firm owner, is to check your client requests as well. Now, in this case, I'm going to just be talking about it because we don't necessarily use client requests in this specific pipeline. Is just based off of the preference of my client. And so I'm just going to pretty much talk this through. And if you have any more questions on just client requests, I can definitely take a deeper dive on breaking it all down and going into greater detail on how client requests are used. But essentially, it's the same thing. Client requests are just messages or questions that are sent directly to the client. But the good thing about client requests is that it's a mini type of like questionnaire. I don't recommend if you have like more than like 5 questions that you want to ask to your client. But it's just a couple of questions that you want to ask your client, and they can do that right in the client requests. And so that is typically how a client request is used. And again, that is also should be linked to your job as well. And that also, once you open the job and you're using the client request, it gives you a status on if they answered, questions, or if they, basically the client does not have the ability to message you directly within the client request. That's actually something that they could do within the messages. However, this gives you, instead of sending them an email, sending them a text message, asking them a question, you can use a client request to just get an answer from any quick question that you have from them. Okay, so those are the 5 daily things that you should be doing in TaxDome every single day during the busy tax season. And I hope that you find that this video helpful for you. If you have any further questions along the way, please just let me know in the comments below. I tried my best to get to every single one of the comments. I try to get to all the comments, questions. If I'm not answering fast enough, you're more than welcome to send me an email. I'll make sure that my email is in the description below, but also subscribe and like the video. That helps me know that this type of video is helpful to you. Hopefully, please let me know what you think about that video. But you'll see me again in the next video. Have a good one. Peace out.